Hi, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining. Hope everybody's well. Uh, I thought what we'd do today is have a little look at the KorpDogs artwork. I really want to kind of take you a little bit deeper down to have a little look at all the different layers underneath the artwork as well. I hope you like the new layout. Looks like it works to me. Sorry about the delay getting online. I had a little bit of trouble getting onto Instagram. Instagram didn't want to play today. So we're only broadcasting on X, YouTube, and Facebook today. So if you're watching on one of those platforms, if you could please go and either like the feed, share the feed, that kind of stuff, that would really help loads and loads. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. Welcome in. Like I say, so we're going to look at some of my digital artwork. I'm all about kind of busting myths and showing people how things work. Not really into like keeping secrets and not showing people how easy it is to draw. So that's the plan of what we're going to do today. Just so that you know then, so what you can see on screen at the moment, this is my KorpDogs project. It mints on Monday. We start on Monday, and then we go on for a couple of days of minting and different phases and things like that. But yes, look from Monday or from Tuesday. I think it goes whitelist and public on Tuesday. I can't quite remember the exact details. I should probably find that out. Joff's around, so he'll be able to let you know exact dates. Likewise, have a little look on the KorpDogs NFT X feed, formerly Twitter. Have a little look on there. That'll tell you all the details about what phases are happening and when everything's being released. Anyway, just quickly before we start, I just want to tell you just a few things about the release. One is that it's not just a PFP project, so it's not just a picture of a dog that you'll get. What you'll get, as you can see from the screen there, is as part of the mint, there's going to be 5,000 dogs, but what you'll also get is an art pass. So we're going to do like another 12, 13 art drops over for the first year of the project. So anybody buying a KorpDog will get those automatically for free. Likewise, it also gets you access to the Korp Academy. So anybody that's into drawing, rather than just collecting or an art enthusiast, but if you want to actually start creating yourself, then owning a KorpDog will get you access to the Korp Academy as well, where you can learn to draw with me. That's pretty much it for the time being. Like I say, have a little look on the KorpDogs NFT X feed for a few more details on that, but that should be enough to keep you going. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and show you the how I created and just talk about how I created the KorpDogs project, the artwork for it anyway, but also answer any questions that you might have about how to create a generative NFT art project, or mainly how I created mine. So there might be other ways, there will be other ways of doing it, but I can only show you the ways that that I know how to do it. If anybody who's watching online, just please do me a favour. If you could share the feed around, let people know that you're watching, but also just jump into the conversation. Let me know where you're from, where you're watching from, and if you've got any questions, let me know that as well. So let's have a little look at the project. So I did all of the artwork was done in Adobe Fresco, and I've got a video that I did a couple of days ago that kind of explains why I use Adobe Fresco. And essentially it's because you get this you get like a vector brush, so it's infinitely like scalable. You can zoom in quite a lot and it won't go pixelated, and that really appealed to me. So that's pretty much the main reason why I used Adobe Fresco for drawing the KorpDogs. And you can see here is one of the KorpDogs on screen, one of my favorites. What I'll do is I'm going to go through how the layers work, maybe break it all down a little bit. But like I say, if you've got any questions along the way, please go and ask at the same time as well. There's an absolute ton of layers, as you can see over on this side, on the right hand side, an absolute ton of layers in there. So I'm going to start turning some of those off and showing you some of the basics right at the start. So down here we've got the background, we can turn that off. Then we've got the actual bodies. This will make it look weird. Let you turn that off, and this is what our dog starts to look like. Let's keep on going. So we've got bodies, we've got a layer for collars, got a layer for mouths. Every single part has got a layer. There's the horns. And let me show you this layer. Now, I appreciate that layer doesn't look too much at the moment, but this layer was the key. This is the bit that held everything together for the KorpDogs project. So let me just put it like that so you can see it nice and clearly. And essentially what that is in order to make all of the layers, all the different traits kind of fit together perfectly, these are the little markers, the little parts of the drawings that are consistent in every single KorpDog. So when it came to like drawing ears up at the top here, let me just put a bit of colour on. When it came to like drawing ears up at the top here, all I had to do was just make sure that every ear kind of linked into these two sections, because on the other side of these sections, these bits over here, I knew that those bits that would be a seamless join into the head. And flip it around likewise the other way around. As long as I knew that everything kind of slotted into those little sections perfectly, I knew that they were all going to work together. The only other decision I then had to make was like what goes on top of what. So for example, the ears, if we scroll through, let's get rid of that now. What's in there? Oh yeah, look at that. Again, another little breakdown of how the dogs worked. This was me working out which bits were those keys. So I knew that that's roughly where the dogs were going to be. I knew that's roughly where the ears were going to be up there, things like that. I might have some colours in here as well. Yeah, look, I have. So this is another thing I did, was just breaking it down into colour zones. So I knew that all my eyes, let's get rid of all of these now, ears, nose. I knew that all the eyes that I did would fit into this yellow zone. That was really important, that they fit into there, so there was no kind of weird overlaps. Likewise, all the snouts had to fit into that zone. So you can see like those big dogs with the jowls either side, they had to fit, so they kind of dropped into there nicely. What else have we got? Collars. Collars were there, and you can see there's a bit of a crossover between the snout area and the collar, and again that was important to have like the snout in front or on top of the collars, so that any kind of parts of the dog's face that were dropping down in front of the collar actually appeared in front of the collar and not tucked in, which would have looked a little bit weird. This one was an interesting one, the ears. So there's a nice big zone for the ears. Let me turn off all of these. There you go, quite a massive zone for the ears, and the main reason for that is because with these dogs I had some ears that were like really pointy upwards. I had other ears that were kind of flapping down a little bit, but then I had other ears that were kind of like all the way down to the bottom. So I had these like we had these like pointy ears that were just going like that, but then we also had the folded down ears which would go like that and just kind of flap over the eyes. So again, it was important for the ear layers to be above the eye layers, so it's just another thing to think about. But then I also had these ones that were just kind of like all the way down here, big old ears coming all the way down there. So that's why the ear section was so big. But this was pretty cool because what it enabled me to do was just see where everything was going to sit. I think the bit that was trickiest was that little hat bit. So that was like anything that was going to go. So there's the different traits we've got. We've got like starting from the bottom, let's work our way up. We've got the collars. There's loads of different collars in there. We've got the snouts, the mouths, loads of different mouths in there. We've got the noses, we've got the eyes, we've got the ears, we've got the actual body of the dog, we've got the backgrounds, but then we've got this like extra bit which is like hats and horns and other weird bits that are kind of like up top, and that's what that section is just there. And that was a bit of a weird one because I had to kind of like make sure that it worked for like if I wanted to put some little horns in, but also work for like if I wanted to put a crown or a cap and things like that on there as well. Hey Jessica, I hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you very much for joining in. Yeah, just a reminder, I'm going through the KorpDogs artwork. I'm like a bit of a behind the scenes, so if you've got any questions about digital art, how I do digital art, how I generated the KorpDogs, then this is the time to ask. I'm also going to go through some of my favourite traits. So just talking about those horns, and that hat kind of area, that weird kind of looking area that we just looked at there. Look. So you can see like here we've got a couple of horns that I put in there to make sure they fit in. Then we've got this like rainbow thing. What else have we got? The crown I was talking to you about. And you can see they all just about fit inside that zone as much as possible. So that's one of the things, again, that helped me loads when I was producing these dogs. Right, let's go and get rid of that. The other thing you can see as well over there on the right hand side is the amount of layers that I've got, and I grouped all the layers together. So I've got all the background sketchy stuff in one group of layers, which are the things I've just shown you so far. But then as we go down, I've got every trait as it is within a group of layers. And so inside this one, these are all the different traits that are hats or things that go on the head, would be a better way of putting it. Let's have a look. So yeah, just so I knew that's where the hats were. I actually wrote hats in there. Yeah, me too, mate. I'm ready for Monday. I'm ready for Monday, ready for Tuesday. I think Monday. So Mondays, when we start minting on Monday, Joff will correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think when we start minting on Monday, it's mainly it's whitelist, it's OGs, it's those people. It's a lot of free stuff is being given away on Monday, and then it's Tuesday that we go to whitelist and the public mint as well. I just feel like I need to check that because I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's the plan anyway. So just keep an eye on from Monday because that's when will all start kicking off. And it's all the details are in the KorpDogs feed. Here we go. I'm just going to check the mega thread that Joff pulled together. Make sure it's all on there. Yeah, so launching December 16th for handholders. Anybody who holds a hand already, which was a previous project that I did, that was like a thank you for anybody that that'd been sticking with us right from the start. So yeah, that's kind of like a recognition of how long you've been supporting the project if you've got a hand. So yeah, that's happening on that day. Then on December 17th, yeah, that's when we go to whitelist and public. So yeah, I'm pumped for Tuesday more than Monday, to be honest, Jessica. Crypto Stew, you're not really winning anything today, mate. I'm afraid not. I'm pretty sure you'll figure out some way of winning something somehow, but we'll see. And who else? That's Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining in. I'm glad you're finding it useful. If you've got any specific questions, then please ask. Right, let me go through some of these traits then. So we're just looking at the hats at the moment. So one of my favourites, I think, was this one, the little worm character that just pops out. And you can see, like, with that worm, we've got like a little hole down the bottom. We've also got a little drop shadow that appears in there as well. So as soon as we have the body attached, you can see how that drop shadow changed. So at the moment it's black, but because of the way I've got the layers set up, as soon as you put a color underneath, that black then becomes like a semi-transparent. So you still get that little shadow, and you can see by just making sure that it kind of that worm kind of fits inside the head as well, like that. And yeah, the other thing you'll notice as well is as soon as I take the body in and out, just that little bit down here, look, just little tiny touches like this make all the difference to me. See how we just get that that bit inside the hole just comes alive, just makes it look a little bit more like there's a hole in there. And this will work in whatever kind of body we put in. Doesn't matter what colour you go for, it all kind of works. So I think, yeah, that's probably my favourite trait, is the worm, and mainly because that's what I do for a living. Or before I started doing like Corp Academy and really pushing myself on KorpDogs, that's drawing worms was what I did for a living. Yeah, it's a worm, not a penis. But yeah, thank you Thank you for contributing to the conversation. Let's get rid of that one then. So yeah, other stuff is like little kind of like nods to popular culture. I'm not saying that this is an old project, but we've got like a bit of a nod to the Teletubbies in there, but also a bit of a nod to some of my favourite artists. So I had my dog Size come and stay with me once, and he was wearing this woolly hat, a little tiny, really small, like smaller than his head, orange woolly hat that had my dog Size written on it. And I said to him, I sent him a message saying, "Can I put your orange woolly hat as one of the traits in the in my KorpDogs mint?" And he said, yeah, as well as doing a KorpDog as well. So anybody who's a fan of my dog Size, he has got a 1-of-1 KorpDog. So in amongst the mint, there's 5,555 KorpDogs. In amongst there's going to be 30 KorpDogs done by guest artists, and my dog Size is one of them, which I'm really humbled by because he's not traditionally a digital artist. So it was a huge challenge for him to do that. Here's some other ones. Like little Bonehead was good. I really like this cap. That cap came out all right. But then I also did like a cap that was a bit more of a reference to what I'm wearing here. Let's get rid of the Say logo. I think there's a doodle with Korp as well. So it's like I had to put my actual cap as one of the traits on there. And I can't remember whether we're actually, I think we're using the Say logo in as one of the traits as well. As a vegan, you approve. Thanks, mate. What else have we got in there? So, oh yeah, I did this one-off kind of thing. Like, did some cyan hair. This was Joff asked me to do this for some reason or another, and Joff does that quite a lot. Just sends me a message saying, "Can you draw this? Can you draw this? Can you draw this?" And yeah, most of the time I'm like, yeah, I think I probably can draw that. So yeah, that's what the cyan hair looks like. Although I don't think this one actually made it into the traits. Joff, you'll have to confirm whether that is true or not. I think this was done after the PSD file. Don't share the cyan hair. Whoops. Okay. This is this is why me and Joff work really well together. Look at that. I think that looks nice. Let's put it on there. Orange dog. Yeah, weird looking thing. Okay, so let's find one of these traits. I'm going to put it as let's get Bonehead. Bonehead is the trait. Let's go and work our way down to our next one. So next one along. So the bones, the hats are the top layers. So they sit right at the top. Nothing else is going to sit over the top of those. So whatever else comes is all underneath there. Cyan hair is easy to make. It's pretty straightforward. I've done it a few times. I did a recent one with there you go. Look. So I did an IRL version as well, but it's relatively easy. It's just a big chunk of hair. It's actually easier, I think, to draw that kind of hair than it is to draw normal hair, because it's just a big like chunk of hair split into 3 colours, and then you do some like little kind of extra wispy bits. Right, so yeah, hats, they were the top layer. Let's go on to the next layer down was ears. So let's have a look at a set of ears. And I think these are one of my earliest sets of ears. How many sets are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 sets of ears. From what I remember, I think we did 15 sets of every single trait. Just because I like to keep things nice and neat like that. Thank you, Tanya. You thought it was just quick pictures. That sums up what most people I know think of me and my artwork. It's it's just a few quick pictures in it. No, this is so what's 15, and how many different traits have we got? Did I say? We've got background 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, whatever 7 times 15 is. Anybody know 7 times 15? My maths ain't good enough for that. but that's like how many sections there are in there. And the other yeah, I'll show you that as well. Let's get into the ears, because each layer, so like those ears, that's not just one layer. Those ears are a couple of different layers. So if we go into the ears, there's the outline layer, and this was just the way I preferred to work, so that I could add colour in different ways, and so everything kind of was nice and flush. But you've got the outline layer, then you've got this layer of just colour, so it just adds the colour in. But then you've got this other layer which adds the shadow in, and those shadows and highlights. Can you see the little highlights in the green area? Let me just get that. For some reason that's not showing up as particularly opaque. But yeah, look, you see just there, in there, that there is a little highlight in there, and that comes up with this great big shadow that is in that area as well. So look, no shadows, shadows. And so that's something I did with every single layer. Is I did one layer for colouring in and a second layer for adding shadows as well. I wanted to add a little bit of depth and a little bit in detail in there. There's 8 traits in total. I can't remember what I included, mate. Let's go for 8. You know more than me, mate. There's a lot of traits. I probably didn't include the backgrounds or the bodies or something like that. I don't even think I included the hat piece. Maybe it was the hat. That would make more sense. What's 8 times 15? Anybody know what 8 times 15 is? I think that sounds about right. That's a bit closer to the number of traits we said there was going to be. There's also like there's loads of extra traits in there, so it was about 15, I think. But I think I've chucked in loads of extra backgrounds, things like that. Shadows are in everything, so I didn't want to leave it just flat. So there are shadows in everything. I've not the difference in traits is a completely different picture. It's not a level of finish to it, if you know what I mean. Okay, let me go through some of my favourite ears then. Let's get rid of those ones. We've got some like all flicked off ones. These ones are good. These ones kind of came from, do you remember Garfield? There was a dog in Garfield called Odie. Probably still is in Garfield, called Odie. And these are based on Odie's ears. That's why I went with those ones. And I kind of like them. A little tiny wrinkle underneath the earlet. It's a nice little touch. And again, you can see with the highlights and the shadows. So there's a lot of NFT projects out there which are just flat colours. No shade on them at all, but I really wanted to add a little bit more depth. It's a way that I kind of teach people how to draw as well, is to use like 2 or 3 different colours in order to create a bit more shape with your drawing rather than just having it quite flat. So yeah, that's why I added these extra layers in for shadows, just to give it a little bit more shape. So yeah, we've got the Odie ears. What else did we have? We had that one, the what's the name? It's gone now. Joker's girlfriend. I don't know. It's gone, but either way, yeah, Joker's girlfriend's hair. I kind of went with that one. Really nice details in the shade on that one as well. Gives us a lot. What else do we go for? These weird ones. So they're not particularly complicated. What I really like is just keeping the drawings. Harley Quinn, thank you, Geoff. Keeping the drawings nice and simple. So I didn't want things to be too complicated or too detailed. That kind of bugs me a little bit. I like things to be simple, easy to understand. So look, just a big old kind of sausage hanging from the ear. What else we got? We got one down, one up. Add that in. Maybe just no ears at all, so just some little stumps. These ones were the cactus ones. I'm not going to show you every single set of ears, but the cactus ones were quite nice. And what I did, because I like drawing cactuses, is I did a body shape that was a cactus as well. So I think it'd be really cool to kind of like see the body shape, the cactus body shape, and the cactus ears together. So it'd be interesting to see if anybody gets that as a combo. These are those big long ones that I was telling you about. I really like these ones as well. They were good fun to draw because of all the extra shadows. And I suppose that does look a little bit more complicated, but again, the reality is it just started off as a couple of lines like that, nice and simple, but then strategically placed, one layer of colour and then strategically placed shadows. And it was those shadows that kind of give everything that extra depth and highlight. Different on both sides. Look at how we've got the lighter part of the over there. That's all kind of quite light. Whereas on that end over on this side, that area is all kind of a bit darker, just to give it that kind of 3D look without it being particularly 3D. So yeah, I think that's probably my favourite set of ears. What else do we get? I tried to go through different dog species as well and get specific a species of ears incorporated in. So I remember putting those ones in. I can't remember exactly what species of dog that was, but this one, I think these ones were the pug ears. A couple Labrador ears just flopping down. I think that's what Joff has on his profile pic at the moment. So a couple of little floppy ears. And then this last one. Nice. So I think, yeah, like I said, my favourite ears are going to be these ones. So I'm going to leave it with these ones. And let's go and find another layer. So we've done the hat layer, which was that bone. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go into that bone. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put a cap in. You can see how the cap fits. I'm going to put a party hat in. See how the party hat fits. What about the My Dog size hat? So he just nestles in really neatly in there. We even got stuff like just a little cloud at the top. In fact, I'm going to leave that one in. I'm going to leave the cloud one in there. Right, let's go to the next layer down. So we had hats on top. Coming down a layer, we've got ears. Then underneath the ears, because you kind of want to go with whatever's closest to you. So underneath the ears, then it's going to be the nose, because the nose is going to stick out quite a bit. So yeah, we've got these a bunch of noses in here. Yeah, we'll come to eyes in a minute, mate. Eyes are after noses. And here's the noses. And what you'll notice with the noses is that little line coming down. I don't know if you get just there. That didn't really work. Let's get in there. That little line coming down like that. That was a big thing that you'll see in loads and loads of these noses. This was the, like I said right at the start, this is one of the keys that kind of connected the nose to the mouth and give it that real doggy look. So here we go. Let's have a little look at some of these noses. I kind of liked the idea of doing snotty noses and non-snotty noses. So you've got that one with a bit of snot hanging out, but then underneath you've got this one without the snot hanging out. So yeah, you got those two different versions of the same nose. And again, I really enjoyed kind of drawing that. You know, you can see this shadow looks a little bit clunky and big over there. Don't forget, once you have a colour underneath, that shadow comes through as a bit more transparent. That's not my favourite snotty nose though. Let me show you my favourite snotty nose. I did I kept the noses quite basic actually, so I only put in like quite a lot of normal noses, normal dog noses, and then went really crazy with some of the other noses. So you've got a bunch of these ones which are just black and different shapes. So fairly basic noses. But then you've got all these other ones which were like, yeah, a little bit more like pig-like. I still think that's a dog nose more than a pig nose. What else we got? And we went weird with some of the noses as well. So here's another piggy, normal kind of style nose, just a different colour. But then, yeah, went weird with some of the noses as well. So we've got a big red nose. Again, it would be really cool to see if somebody gets like the Harlequin ears with the nose, the red nose as well. kitty noses. No, I don't think I did any cat style noses. That's probably as close as I get to a cat style nose, is one like that. Yeah, more weird ones. Did like a fluffy nose as well. But yeah, my favourite one was this is the clean nose. In fact, I'll just put a little background on there so you can see how the shadow works. Let's put a blue dog in. Yeah, that's good. So you can see how the shadow works, because otherwise that shadow just comes through as black and it looks a little bit messy. But then we've got this other one, which is the same nose, but just a sneezing version of it. Okay. And it all gets a little bit messy. Now, this idea came from, this whole idea of having all this snot kind of hanging out came from a previous project that I was working on. So Joff and I kind of started originally doing a project called Stacker. I won't tell you what it's called, but we did a different project. And but I wanted to use one of the Metageist suggested having that kind of look and feel of Garbage Pail Kids. Do you remember those Garbage Pail Kids? And one of the kids was a snotty kid, and I just remember I did the hands the hands were held up like this, and then it had like bits of snot going from the nose across to the hands. And I remember in my old artwork having all these like snotty bits, and they just looked really cool, looked really funny, looked really weird, and a fairly fun thing to draw. So that's why I threw these snotty pictures in as well. So let's leave it on that one, shall we? Because that's quite a cool one with a little bit of snot hanging out. Okay, let me get rid of the background again so we can see how it's all building up. Next up, Joff's favourite part. This is what he's been waiting for, is those eyes. For me, the eyes were really fun to draw as well, because you can really get loads of character across. For me, it was the eyes and mouth. They were the two main areas where you can get the character across. So that was my favourite set of eyes, those kind of like mean-looking eyes. But we did go for some other ones as well. So we went for some more normal, plain-looking eyes, like a little bit inquisitive. What else? It was crazy eyes, that kind of thing. This one is another favourite as well. We went a bit crazy with the whole kind of skull eyes. Love how that turned up. It went even worse as well with this one. Look, we've got the extra eyes sticking out. And let me get rid of the hair so you can see, not the hair, but the ears, so you can see exactly what that looks like. And then as well, look at how the noses kind of just sit on top. Oops, let's get rid of that. So depending on what nose we've got, just kind of sits on top, just slightly in front of those eyes. Yeah, let's go and put that piggy nose back in. Put the ears back in. Let's have a look at some more eyes. So I think they were my crazy eyes. We had some other... I really had a lot of fun with the eyes. Some really weird ones. Hey Knox, thank you for joining in, mate. Appreciate you coming. I'll speak to you soon. Yeah, these eyes were just a little bit weird. What else do we have? Another set of weird eyes. Yeah, I think, in fact, all the eyes I think were weird. What I like about this set of eyes is because what I've done is I've left this bit here transparent, so it's kind of taken a slice out of the eye. So even though the eyes are on top, because I've made that bit transparent, what it means is that when the fur goes on underneath, that shows through, and it makes it look like the fur is actually folded over the top of the eyes. Let me show you what I mean by that. So when we put the fur back in, down here, look, see how it just looks now like that fur is just flopping over the top of the eyes. So even though that layer is underneath, the fur is underneath there, it just looks like it's popping over the top. And I enjoy kind of working out things like that. That was a pretty cool thing to work out. What other eyes have we got? This one's not going to show up until I put some background on again. So we've got like different colours. So whatever, look at inside the eyes, like whatever colour, it's like the bags in the eyes, whatever colour the dog is underneath, those eyes will be the same. colour, so they'll just match it. Got some weird eyes. I tell you what I really liked about these particular eyes is if I get really close in, like, you can just see the little highlights and the shadows. So remember I said about like putting those highlights and shadows in and how important that was to really create a bit of extra depth with the artwork. Let's not use that one. Let's use a different colour. There we go. What you can see from this particular layer is how adding those shadows like that is what the eye looks like just normally. But by adding those shadows in, you're just creating like a bit of a rim around this pupil area. So let's just put it back in, look, and you can see what a difference it makes by adding or taking out that. For me, it just looks a load more finished, and the detail around there looks really nice. I mean, I draw with an iPad. A pen, an Apple Pencil, and Adobe Fresco. And the whole the KorpDogs project was all of it was drawn on iPad. As soon as it was ready, then I exported it into a PSD, a Photoshop file, and then that's when Joff took over and did his magic to make it work. But yeah, pretty much all the design work was done on an iPad. Right, let's have a look at some more eyes. Let's get rid of those ones. We've got some like normal, really kind of fairly boring eyes. Boring's the wrong word. Simple is a nicer word. Some green eyes. Why not? Oh, look at these ones. Little squinting eyes. And again, look with the shadows. Look at how those shadows and highlights just make it look like those eyes are actually kind of embedded into the fur, rather than if you take those out, it just looks like a normal line, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just prefer that extra little level of detail in there. Let's get rid of those. We've got a nice blue set of eyes here as well. Love how concerned they look. And yeah, I think my favourite set of eyes though was this one, which yeah, just a real like basic cartoon style eyes, but I really like the way they turned out. The fact that it's just, you know, one kind of two eyes like merged in together, but it still kind of works. So yeah, I think they're my favourite eyes. I'm going to leave it on those eyes for the time being, and let's go down to our next layer. We've got mouths to look at. Mouths and kind of like snouts. So I separated right at the start of the project. I had to decide, right, which bits, what do I want as different traits. And it quickly became obvious that I should have like the actual tip of the nose and the actual snout as two different traits, because I could do loads with them. Because you can have loads of different, you know, types of noses in there. I also wanted to make sure that I had loads of different categories. So like 8 different categories of traits in there as well, rather than just going for like 3, you know, rather than just going for eyes, mouth and ears and that was it. I wanted to build it up so there could be loads of different combinations. So the chance of anybody getting exactly the same as somebody else is like really, really slim. Really slim. Let's have a little look at these mouths then. So yeah, I wanted to make sure the mouths and the noses were different. Let's turn off the background so you can just concentrate on the mouths. So the thing with the mouths as well, quite a few of these mouths were inspired by Rick and Morty, the Justin Roiland cartoon. I was a huge fan. I was watching a lot of it at the time of when I was developing this character. So I think I was just binging the whole first few seasons. And so a lot of these mouths are very kind of like sausage shaped, little round teeth, really simple shapes. But I just thought they looked so effective. Really like them. Let's dig around a few other mouths, shall we? So that was my safe smiley mouth. I went for a similar kind of mouth, but this time kind of just dropped a little bit of a snout over the top lip as well. So if you've seen my beeve, I did Beeves NFT asked me to do a beaver drawing for them. And I used this technique for the beaver drawing as well, where we had like this snout kind of just dropping over the mouth, and the mouth being this nice big kind of sausage shape with loads of teeth in there. Looked really good in the beavs piece. So yeah, if you have a little look at that, somebody picked that up for like 200 say a couple of days ago, and was like really impressed with they thought it was the best beaver in the project, which is really humbling when somebody says something like that about your artwork. But yeah, that the mouth for that one really came from this, and then this mouth kind of came from the Rick and Morty. And what was the other one? Solar Opposites as well. If you get to watch Solar Opposites, that's a great cartoon as well. And I got loads of inspiration from that style as well. Here we go. Look, some other little kind of mouths. I guess what I like about this one is just look at those little pitted bits. They don't look too much like that, but let's put a background colour on, because again, this is another one where the shadow really kind of makes it come alive. Look at that. So it's just a nice, neat way of making drawing like these little craters just by using shadows. So if you get rid of, with that one again, if you get rid of the shadows and the highlights, there's nothing there. But it's just like, it's as simple as a dark curve going one side, a light curve going the other side. But you zoom out a little bit, and it just makes it look like little craters in the mouth, which is a great way of drawing whiskers. If you don't want to actually like flick any lines off and draw some whiskers in, you just draw these little craters or little dots, and they work out just as well. So yeah, I really like that one. We've got another one here with some craters in. What else have we got? Let's have a little look at this one with its tongue sticking out. I love drawing tongues like that. Just nice, simple, lolloping tongues just sticking out nice and easily, like this one as well. And yeah, I thought I'd go with the green tongue. Why not? Go with any colours you want. So we've got a bunch of mouths like that. Got some green teeth in that one. What else have we got? Let's look at this one. Again, really nice and simple, but very dog-looking kind of mouth. So I did those, and then what I did then was decide, right, okay, let's have something a little bit more snout-like. So go back to the roots of it being a dog project. And we got things like this one. Look. So we've got the big old snout kind of coming out. And look how well that works with the nose. Yeah, this is why you haven't seen me for 3 years. This is why nobody's seen me for 3 years. This is why I haven't done any artwork of my own for 3 years, because I've been working on this. So yeah, we've got these bigger ones, look, and there's a much more normal kind of looking mouth. Let's change that nose up. I'm not sure if that nose really goes that well with that. Let's put just a normal nose in. Look how sweet that looks now. Let's change the ears up on that. I'm not sure the ears really work, so let's get rid of those ears. Let's put on some... What about these ears? Oh, it's looking like Joff's piece now, look. It's starting to look like a version of Joff's dog. But this is... I love this kind of being able to draw loads of different parts of a piece of artwork, and then having them like randomly fit together. So when Joff generated all of these 5,000 dogs and was showing me them, even though I knew I drew every single part of every single dog, I'd never put them together in the combination that he was showing me. So it was a surprise to me to see what some of them looked like, and that was really cool as well. And I after this project, I can't wait to kind of go and work on another project. Yeah, identikit dogs, identikit animals. I can't. One of the things me and Joff were talking about doing was seeing if we can create another one, a generative NFT art project in a live session, just to see, how long it would take. A lot of this was learning on the go to do KorpDogs, but now I've got that knowledge. I'd like to think next time around it will be a bit quicker, a bit simpler. Maybe do it in a day instead of 3 years. Right, let's go and have a look at some more snouts then, shall we? Because we've got some more interesting snouts in there as well. So we've got the purple one, we've got that grey one. Okay, look at this one. This is a weird set of lips. I kind of like that one. I thought that was quite fun, especially kind of whipped over to the side. But then also it kind of, we got into these ones as well. Going for some really big, like droopy snouts as well. So I like that one, and that kind of works kind of well with this one, an even bigger snout. So yeah, lots of variety in those snouts there. Let's go and put it into this one though, because this is the Joff version. I'm trying to see what nose. I think that's the nose you've got as well. Let's change the eyes up so it looks like Joff's dog. Where are the eyes? So we'll get rid of that set of eyes and we'll put in that set. Yeah, it's looking more like you. Right, let's go down. Where we got next? So really, there's 3 more layers to go through. One is the collars. So we'll have a quick look at the collars. Then it's the actual dog background. And when we go through the dog, well, not the background, the actual dog colour. And when we go through the dog colour, that's when I want to show you the overlay that I've put on. One of the things I was really keen on was making sure that like merging the lines between digital art and IRL art. So I like my real art to look digital. So some people see my real art and they're like, is that printed? And genuinely asking, because it's so smooth and it's clean and it's sharp. Alternatively, I quite like it that my digital art has a bit of a touch of it looking like it's IRL art as well. So yeah, I like kind of merging the two. And so I'm going to show you in a second how I kind of got that effect to come to life. Right, let's close that down. Let's go and bring in the collars. Again, I nice and easy to draw. And I think we've got a dog with no collar on. I think that's a naked dog. I'm sure that was one of the options. So even though, you know, I've drawn the 15 or so traits, there's actually a 16th trait of no collar at all. So a little bit, not a stray, but like a dog that hasn't got a collar on. You can't call them strays because they're the guest artists that are in the pack are called strays. But yeah, there you go. That's probably my favourite collar in there. We have got some. Oh, let's get rid of that. Got some different sorts of collars in. So right from nice simple stuff like that, which is I think this was based on SpongeBob's belt. So that's why that looks like that. And again, look, we've got with the transparent piece, that bit being transparent, so it looks like the fur's coming over the belt, even though the fur is behind it. Got any bow ties? What do we got here? Of course we've got a bow tie. Had to be done. It was like, well, what can I put around a dog's neck? It doesn't have to be a collar or a leash. It can be something a little bit more decorative. So yeah, we've got a bow tie. Maybe maybe this one's just wearing a nice shirt as well. Ignore the fact that you can see all the gump at the bottom there and just concentrate on the fact that you can see that nice looking little shirt. We've also got those with the bandanas floating around. What do we do? Yeah, normal belts. We had a dog collar as well. It made sense, didn't it? Got to have a dog collar on there. What else have we got? Yeah, we've got some diamonds in there. This one's a good one. Look at the amount of overlaps on this one. So again, just by doing that little tiny piece of collar right in the middle, and then adding those little V shapes either side, just there and just there, again making it look like the underside layer is coming through, but also because of that, it just makes it look like all the collar over there and over there is behind the fur, even though that fur is a layer behind. So let me show you how that looks when we put the actual dog in there. Look. See how it just looks like that collar is just sitting in amongst all that fur. That's the kind of stuff I enjoyed doing. Okay, let's put it on. This green one I think is my favourite collar. So let's hide that one. Pull out this green one. I really like that green collar. Nice basic chunky collar. And let's bring out those actual dogs now. In fact, what I'll do is I'll turn off all of these. What collar have you got on your dog? You've got a naked dog. That's Joff I was talking to just there. And yeah, right, let's have a little look at the actual dogs. So this was a fun bit, and it was a case of, right, how many different kind of body shapes can I give these dogs while still kind of staying within the constraints of a generative NFT project, because I couldn't do like some skinny dogs because the face would just look weird on there and it wouldn't connect properly. So they all had to be kind of like similar sizes. So the things I changed were like the length of the fur and stuff like that, and obviously the colours as well. This is probably a little favourite. Again, take a little look at the shadows that I've added in there. So we've just got that basic shadow there. We've got the colour. The colour is the bit that's like darker down the bottom, lighter at the top, and then I've thrown a shadow, just a straight line going diagonally through it. And you can see how it makes the darker colour darker at the bottom there. Let's get rid of that one. We've also got like a spiky one as well. I told you, oh, this one's a lumpy one. Look. Just weird ones. I think this one was based on jetpacks and roller skates picture. I'd done a character and it just had these lumps coming out the side, and I thought they just looked really cool. So I tried to use that without it being a complete rip, and just bring that into mine. Then that one looked just like little lumpy bits. So it looks like it's like a furless dog, you know, like one of those dogs one of those cats that hasn't got any fur. Let's move down a bit further. We went for a really hairy dog. Name of the collection will be KorpDogs. So I can see a few little messages and comments coming up in the feed, but I can't keep up with them. They're coming through thick and fast. But yeah, KorpDogs. See at the top there, top of the screen. That's the name of the collection. It's going to be available on Magic Eden. You see on the bottom of the screen. From Monday, mainly Tuesday. But yeah, I've got a hairy dog. What else should we do? Just normal kind of dogs. This one, like a bit of a rocker, like an Elvis style dog. Cactus. Remember I was talking about that cactus one earlier, and I said, wouldn't it look cool with like the cactus ears? Actually looks pretty cool with the yellow ears. I like that. But let's get rid of that. Put the cactus ears on, so it just looks like a cactus plant. That was always the intention behind bringing that in. And again, cactus plants is something I draw quite a lot as well. Got some more swirly ones. Let me get rid of the ears actually. And yeah, loads more. Let's go and bring this body shape. So yeah, nice basic safe body shape. The little kind of curves around there and around there, just to kind of shape the mouth, the neck bit. That's what they're in there for. And yeah, so one of the things I was saying about was how I make my artwork appear more IRL, more real life. And I do that with this layer here. Not just there, I don't, just there. And so you can see what that's done is it's just added that texture. Let's leave that there and I'll turn it off again so you can see what I mean. Look. So as I turn it on, it's added that texture similar to what you can see in the background of the feed as well, yeah. I'm streaming, Joff, I'm streaming to here on X, which I think is where you're watching, but I'm also on YouTube. Streaming on YouTube and streaming on hopefully Facebook as well. Yeah, I was going to try and stream on Instagram as well, but that kind of just failed on me, which is why I'm a little bit late in. Where else am I streaming? Maybe on Twitch. I don't know. I just ticked everything, Joff, when I did this one. But there you go. So the thing with this layer, look, let me just quickly show you. So when you turn it on, it looks like that. It gives you that texture. But essentially what you've got to do is when you drop your layer in, it's just like this cardboard texture. This is a scan I did of some paper that I've got. So this isn't like anything I've picked up anywhere. No, I'm not using Restream. I'm using Ecamm. Yeah, no reason. Ecamm just is a nice bit of software that allows me to do loads of stuff. Ecamm kind of does what Restream and OBS do together. So rather than having two different applications doing two different things, I've just got one application. I just go into Ecamm, which is my broadcasting software, where I can design the scene that you see now. So I've got that one. I can change it over to another scene. So I could just broadcast like that if I wanted. But yeah, it does all kind of, it then sends that feed out to loads of different places at the same time. It's a Mac only piece of software though. That's the only thing. Yeah, getting back to this, though, you see how I've got that scanned bit of paper in. So first thing I'll do, as I put it in, would be there's the paper in. Then you kind of use this button over here. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a little kind of arrow pointing down on the right hand side. It's follow my finger. It's like up there somewhere. But when you click on that, it kind of then just drops it into the layer below. So it puts an overlay on top of that layer below. So that is that bit up. But then what you've got to do is you've got to then change your filter, your blend mode. So I changed my blend mode to something like overlay or soft light. So that's what it looks like with overlay. That's what it looks like with soft light. I kind of like overlay because you still get quite a lot of the texture come through. So that exists on everything. Just a couple more minutes and then I'm going to leave you with a finished dog. What else do we have? Let's get rid of that and we'll talk about the backgrounds. Last bit is these backgrounds. What is that? Where did that come from? I've got a weird little line appearing here somewhere. There we go. There we go. So there's the backgrounds. These clouds were loads of fun to draw because it's just two lines. So easy to draw those clouds. And what I've done as well is I can just take out one side. So if I wanted to make it a little bit bigger, could do. Obviously you put your bigger clouds at the top, smaller clouds down the bottom. Let's have a little look at some other backgrounds. Some of these backgrounds as well didn't actually make it into the final project, so you might see a few that don't actually exist. I wanted to use my Korp posters, so this is just a bit of a nod back to me as an artist. These like posters that I created and pasted up everywhere. So we've got a little bit of that in there somewhere. There's a close-up. No, let's not use that one. We've got just some splatter. Yeah, why not? Just a little bit of splatter. I kind of like this one because it was like a fragile handle with care. So, you know, like we're using that brown paper quite a lot. Let's see if we can drop that in. So let's duplicate that. I just want to drop this in so that you can see what this looks like. So you've got that fragile handle with care, like stamped or stenciled on, bit of splatter on there. This is what it looks like if it's just square. It keeps it nice and clean like that. So I kind of liked that as well. And then we got into these ones. I can't remember what that says now. What do you want from me? I think is what it says. So it's just a repeating loads of text. What do you want from me? Loads and loads of times. What do you want from me was my first ever solo show as Korp down in Southsea. So I thought it would be nice to kind of like bring that into the artwork a little bit. And then we got these ones. This was like heavily inspired by, is it the Sarlacc? Like the little Star Wars thing in the sand. Again, I can't remember whether this one actually made it into the finished pot or not. But I was such a fan of the way this looked with the extra layers, I did a few. Now, I know what you can see from that is how it's quite a big picture. But actually, the part of the picture that gets exported is just that part. Yeah, so it only takes like a little section of that, and that's what I do quite a lot. Is, you know, a lot of the drawing will be outside of the actual canvas area, so I can just kind of move it around. What else we got? There's a circle one, and yeah, like I said, I love the depth that I was able to get with that one. A little bit of a messy one there. But you see, when you crop it out and you chop off the sides, it looks quite neat, like stacked paper. Again, it's got that IRL kind of feel to it, which I really liked. This one, just a little bit of gold. I love the idea of just having just a little bit of gold or crystal or something like that in there. I think this was there you go. That's a nice background. This was the suggestion of one of the people that was supporting us on the project. He was like, you know, you should do something that really kind of looks shiny as a background. So that's where the gold one came in. Then we go to our more traditional ones. These again kind of coming from a little bit of that Solar Opposites, Rick and Morty kind of vibe. But I really like these ones. What's good about this one is that you can just take the clouds out, or you can drop them back in. Again, you can drop in one side of clouds and the other side of clouds as well. And what you've got on the website, if you go to KorpDogs.xyz, KorpDogs.xyz, if you go to the website, that background is there in the website, and then the clouds kind of just come in as the website launches, which I really like. That's all down to Joff, that kind of stuff. He's a little website genius. What do we actually need to do to get involved with this on Monday with Magic Eden KorpDogs? Okay. Short answer is, it's quite a long answer. The short answer is you need to get the cryptocurrency in order to be able to buy the dogs. So I'm releasing them on a cryptocurrency called Say. So you'll need some Say. Go to Magic Eden, you can buy them that way. Now, in order to get that Say, that's a little bit more complicated. Joff is in there, and he can probably help you out if you, or maybe if you just send me a message, I can put you in touch with him or something. Essentially, you need to you'll need to get a wallet, a crypto wallet, and then put some of real currency, transfer it to Say, and then on that wallet you can use that to pay for the KorpDogs. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but yeah, essentially it is relatively simple for once you've done it a couple of times, but it can be a little bit complicated. But yeah, send me a message if you need a bit more help, and I'm more than happy to help you. If it makes it easier for you, the way I did it, yeah, mate, on Magic Eden, the way I did it was I used, I think it was Coinbase. Coinbase is what I put my money on, my Great British Pounds, put it on Coinbase and transferred it for Say, for the cryptocurrency. So I did that, and then I took it from Coinbase and put it on my crypto wallet, which was Compass Wallet. And then through my Compass Wallet, I can link that to Magic Eden, I believe, and pay that way. Joff will tell me if I'm getting it wrong. He's on X and give me a thumbs up. So what I've said is right so far. Let's get back on. I'm conscious that I've got a blank screen though, so let's just show you a few more of the backgrounds. I should have left it on that really. Again, another one. This one was based on Breaking Bad. I saw an artwork of Breaking Bad of the two guys in the yellow outfits with a blue kind of sunny background. I thought I really like the look and feel of that one, so I tried to incorporate that one in. And again, look at how easy the clouds are. The clouds are just a couple of lines. Oops. Don't know if I can do it here, but the clouds are just, you know, you start off with a line like that, and then you get for a lighter colour. And you put the line over the top. And essentially that's how you get that's how I drew those clouds. So nice and easy, but just look really effective because of that two-tone kind of bit that we're going for. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. A bit of an 80s vibe. 80s kind of neon vibe. So that one exists in the pack still. Then we got some like the surface of the sun. Got some molten lava as a backdrop. Let's see what that looks like as a square. Yeah, so you can imagine that all behind a dog. Especially maybe that dog with like the little horns, the little devil horns. That would look really cool with that one. And then we've got this one again is another one inspired by Rick and Morty, so it's the vortex that they travel in. And we've got some like more normal ones, just simple colours. But I didn't want to just put a flat colour on there. I wanted to put something a little bit more interesting in there. Cool, right, let me go and... so I'm just going to quickly recreate Joff's dog here. Yeah, and the thing is, when it came to the amount of ideas I had to put into the project, to put into the artwork, was overwhelming, and so I had to kind of like filter it down and just say, right, only put these and these in, rather than just going with absolutely everything, because there's just so many different backgrounds you can put on. There's so many different things you can put on. So yeah, it was good fun to be quite disciplined with it. Right, let's put this on. Need to link my Compass wallet with my MetaMask, but I forgot the name of another wallet that you don't need to link. Oh, okay, thank you, Smurf. I didn't think you needed to do that anymore. But I'm not the expert, so I'm the art guy. I'm the least Web3 guy in Web3. Joff is the Web3 guy. So he kind of keeps me straight on that. If anything's not working for me, I just go to Joff and he within seconds tells me how to get it working. Okay, so we're recreating Joff's dog here. So Joff's dog is, where's it gone? So it's like a blue one. It's a blue one. It's got no kind of like furry bits across the head. Just that one. That's good. Collar-wise, I don't think we've got a collar on Joff's dog, so we'll leave it naked. We've got that. There's our mouth for Joff's dog. There's that set of eyes. Look, the set of eyes and the mouth go really well together. They're very consistent stylistically, which I like on that one. Going up further, the nose, again with the nose, just very similar to the eyes and the mouth, so it just holds it together, makes it look a bit more like it's all been drawn at the same time, which I kind of like. Floppy ears. Got the floppy ears. Did you have any? And he's got a crown on. Of course he has. So let's get rid of the cloud. That's what it looks like with a worm coming out of the head, which always makes me laugh. Worm coming out of the head, maybe a bone coming out of the head, maybe a halo floating up there as well. But no, Joff has gone for the crown. Joff being a co-founder as well, that's the only reason why Joff has already got a KorpDog as his profile picture, because he's been in it right from the start. There you go. Any questions before I wrap up? And there's a nice easy version of Joff's KorpDogs. Those are say what eyes, are they? Yeah, Compass. See, look, this is typical of Joff. Compass wallet is probably the easiest, as you can get both say and EVM addresses. First part of that sentence I understood fully. Second part of the sentence, I'm like, I ain't got a clue what that means. Which is why me and Joff work so well together. But yeah, there you go. That is a little look at some of the layers, all the different traits in the KorpDogs project. I've really enjoyed drawing it, and I can't wait to release it all on Monday. So it'll be on Magic Eden. Just go to magiceden.io, I think it is, on Monday, maybe Tuesday even. And yeah, you should be able to go and pick some up from there. But hope you've enjoyed that little look through the artwork. Fingers crossed for Tuesday that we have a successful mint, and yeah, I'll hopefully broadcast again on the day. Thanks very much for tuning in, everybody. Yeah, before we go, just please go and share the feed. Go into the KorpDogs NFT X feed. The very first, the pinned post in that will tell you everything you need to know about what you get with KorpDogs. So it's not just a PFP, you get the art pass, which is another 12 pieces of artwork, 12 or 13 pieces of artwork that are coming your way. So even though it's a $69 mint, for that you will get those extra pieces of artwork. Works out just over $5 per piece of artwork. Those artworks as well are one-of-ones, they're runs as well, but they're also, we've got another generative project that's coming up pretty soon with that as well. So that's what you get. You also get access to the Korp Academy, which is worth $84 a year's access to the Corp Academy. So straight away you're kind of saving money on that one. Even if if you don't want to collect the art, you just want to learn to draw, you can get involved on that. Most important thing though is it supports the project. It supports what we're trying to do, which is get people creative. So things like Doodle on Discord, Digital Chaos, what else we do? The Drawing My PFP, all those kind of like little kind of creative projects that we're running on the side. It enables us to kind of keep pushing those and bringing more people on to say, and more people kind of drawing and getting creative. Right, I've rabbited on long enough. So yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you all again soon. Cheers, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.